नमस्ते।
प्रणाम महाराज।
नमस्ते, वेलकम।
Pranams Maharaj.
नमस्ते। So we'll start with our prayer. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Vangme Manasi Pratisthita Mano Me Vachi Pratishtitam Avirabhirmayedhi Vedasya Ma'ani Sthaha Srutam Mima Praha Asirani Nadhite Nahoratran Sandadhami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaram Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. So we are in the sixth chapter. Now in this section, there is an echo, right? There is echo?
Yes, coming from the speaker.
Okay.
It sounds kind of neat.
It
It sounds kind of neat.
Okay. Okay. I think just a minute, give me. Okay. In this section, the topic is the knowledge of non-dual Brahman cannot be attained without knowledge. So therefore, knowledge is very important. What is the example? Suppose someone is sleeping. Until or unless one wakes up, he will be deluded. And he'll not have real awareness of his self as he is. And secondly, suppose I do not know some science, maybe say chemistry or physics or biology. The best way of knowing it is knowledge of that. Nothing else can remove that ignorance. So here position is that we see this world as something else. As we have already discussed, ignorance has got two power. One is covering power, Avarani Shakti, and Vikshepa Shakti. That means power to project. And there are two ways of looking at it. One is Parinamavad. That means converting itself into something which cannot be reverted. So some people perceive this world as it is converted. But from Advaitic perspective, this is not converted, rather it is Vivartavad. That means it appears like this. Why it appears like this? Because of our inadequacy. Inadequacy in our perception. We see something But in reality, it is something else. Many times we see a stump as something else. A policeman can think a stump as a thief. A thief can see that same stump as a policeman, a lover as beloved. And similarly, though the object never changes, but the perception changes. So this is the position of non-dual philosophy, Advaita Brahmagya. So we have already discussed that this world, whatever way we see, we need to correct our perspective, need to correct our understanding that this world has not changed. This world is appearing as world, but in reality, it is Brahman. Brahman alone is appearing as so many things. So here it started, Muktistu Brahma Tattvasya Jnanadeva na cha anyatha. Sapna prabodham vina neiva swapna saswapno hiyate yatha. The liberation, however, liberation means now it is from Vaishnava perspective, they don't want liberation. But what is liberation? Liberation means freedom. As of now, we find ourselves bound. We are bound by so many fetters, like our various enemies are there. Shadaripu, 6 kind of enemies. And then we have our false perception. Then we think something of us as what we are not. We think that we are body, mind, complex, and then our respect or disrespect, man. Shadripu means kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya, desire, hunger, greed, like this. So six kind of enemies that we know. And also man, apaman, that means honor, dishonor, all kinds of fetters we have. So freedom will not come until or unless we know our real self. This is the position. So here it is. The simple statement is the liberation, however, can be obtained through the knowledge of reality and not otherwise. The dreaming does not end until the dreamer awakes. Now here one can say that dreaming is different than this world. But there is some similarity. What is the similarity? This world is dreamlike. As we go to sleep, we forget this world. And as we go to dreamless sleep, even we have no inkling of this existence that we have now. And even in Upanishad, that means in Nrsimha Uttara Upanishad, it is said that Trayam apyetat sushuptam swapnam maya matram. So 3 things are like maya. What is those? Sushuptam, swapnam, and this state of awakening. You know, whatever happened, say 1 hour ago, it looks like a dream now. What happened yesterday looks like dream. What happened 5 years ago, 10 years ago, it likes a dream. Therefore, this has some similarity. As we dream and then we remember, oh, I dreamt. Similarly, we can remember our past. So this is like swapna and sushupti. Trayam apyetat sushuptam swapnamiti. So some similarities are there. That is why we say, the Advaitin will say that until or unless we have knowledge of our real self and we are established in it, there is no freedom. Once we are established in it, then we can have that freedom. So the next shloka says, in the secondless principle Brahman, that means there is no dual. And this idam shariram kaunteya, this body is only a kshetra, a field. And the knower of field is one. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetra ityavidhiyate. Etat yo vijanati tat kshetra ityavidhiyate. He who knows this field is called kshetrajna, knower of field. And know for certain that Brahman alone is knower of the field in all fields. And it is said in Bhagavad Gita in 13th chapter. So we go forward because this we have already gone. In the secondless principle, Brahman, the whole universe in the form of Ishvara and Jiva and all animate and inanimate objects appears like a dream. So this whole world, it's so beautiful, but beautiful dream-like. So whatever animate objects or inanimate objects, all these, even the concept of God. So in the secondless principle Brahman, the whole universe in the form of Ishvara and Jiva and all animate and inanimate objects appears like a dream. Even concept of Ishvara, concept of God. Because God, this concept is also conceived. And whatever is conceived is only a projection. And whatever is projection, that is only object. Object is not subject. This we understand. Object can never be subject. Whatever we see, drishya, seen. Seen is different from seer. Even the concept of God, that is also object. So that is why it is like a dream. Now, next. Maya has created Ishvara and Jiva, represented by the sheath of bliss and the sheath of intellect, respectively. We have already discussed that what is Jiva. See, as of now, we feel we are Jiva. Why? Because we have intellect. Why intellect? Because through knowledge we understand what we are. So we have this body, we have identification. Whatever we understand, it is because of our sheath of intellect. Then what is God? God is sheath of blissful sheath. So Maya has created Ishvara and Jiva, represented by the sheath of bliss and the sheath of intellect, respectively. So from Advaitic standpoint, what is God? God is not created, the supreme being. This is also when he have ikshana. Ikshana means he, as it were, comes close and he influences, he want to create. So any creation comes when there is a blissful state. So creation, so that's why here, so sheath of bliss, Anandamaya Kosha. Coming close to Anandamaya Kosha, one appears as Ishvara. Ishvara means God. And the Jiva is sheath of intellect. I mean, when it is the same Brahman, when identifies itself with the sheath of intellect, so that he appears as Jiva. The whole perceptible world is a creation of Ishvara and Jiva. So whatever we see, it is the creation of God and Jiva, Ishvara and Jiva. God, we should not take God because Ishvara is the right word. Otherwise, we'll confuse. Many times we refer Brahman as God. So let us use this word, Ishvara, who has ikshana. Ikshana means who is closer to creation.
Swami,
Yes.
I have a question. Did you say that creation is always connected with bliss? Did
Yeah.
how is could you explain?
Okay. You are a singer. So you wanted to create, so like you want to enjoy. So you sing. You are a painter. You want to paint and express yourself out of your joy. You are a storyteller. You speak you tell your story and feel fulfilled. So wherever creation we can see it's out of, or when Brahman is closer to blissful sheath, and Jiva is closer to sheath of intellect. Okay, you create your dream and you enjoy, as it were. And when you go to your dreamless state, that time also you enjoy only bliss. But when you want to create, you come to your dream state, and more expressed is this world. So ikshana is one, ikshater nama. So ikshana is that by which one come close. Even see, like a bachelor, he wants to enjoy. So he gets a family, and then he has children, and then he, as it were, he enjoys. So wherever we see creation, it is out of, that's why, Taittiriya Upanishad, yato va imani bhutani jayante, yena jatani jivanti, yena priyanta visham vishanti. So, anandat khal vimani bhutani jayante, anandena jatani jivanti, anandam priyanta visham vishanti. So, from Ananda, this whole world is created. See, God again, God, not God, Brahman. Brahman is Tatastha. That means he has no business with creation. He exists. He is Sat Chit Ananda Swarupa. There is no deviation from there. When he wants to create, he wants to become many. Out of joy, he creates. That is why it is Anandamaya Kosha. I mean, when he comes closer to Anandamaya Kosha, then he is Ishvara. When the same Brahman, when with the sheath of intellect, he is Jiva, already created. So that's what Maya has created Ishvara and Jiva, represented by the sheath of bliss and the sheath of intellect, respectively. The whole perceptible world is a creation of Ishvara and Jiva. So this is the standpoint. Now, next. From the determination of Ishvara to create down to his entrance into the created objects is the creation of Ishvara. So Ishvara, Ikshana is that. So whatever, see, like a person wants to create. So first it's think, and then he projects. Then the creation happens. You are a painter. First you plan, then you execute your plan, and then the painting is projected, created. You are a director of a movie. First you conceive the idea, and then you execute that, and a movie comes out. So ikshana, that means when one is close to it. A bachelor, he wants to create a family, and he creates a family. So if he plans, then he marries, then he, etc., etc.
Divorce.
Not divorce, then
A different desire comes.
And then he marries again.
eh?
And then he marries again.
Yeah. No,
So
we have
it's
to not to extend too much.
the cycle of
Let us.
well, Swami,
Okay.
although that's raised a good point, is that yes, that when in the material world, creation is associated with pleasure, but in that example, of course, creation is generally also associated with pain. And how is Brahman?
Just a minute. When there is joy, there will be misery also. Okay, see, the thing is, in the beginning, there is no pain. When in thought world, there is no pain. But as you create, then comes, you have to apply something which is painful also. So suppose you want to paint a painting. So when you are thinking, then you are only out of joy. But as you paint, then you'll have to apply, say, white color, black color, red color, all kinds of things. See, this world is created. Now who see, now you can see what is happening in Israel, what is happening in Iran, what is happening in Russia and Ukraine. So creator must have this, otherwise no creation. If you want to create a movie, you must have a villain. You must have a protagonist. Then only creation will be. But when it is in thinking state, then there may not be. These characters are reflected. In thought world, it is there. But that will not create this misery. Misery in Jiva, the created being. For him, it is, it is out of Leela. Leela Kaivalyam. So Leela, the divine play. Somebody said to Sri Ramakrishna, he is doing Leela, but we are dying. Then Sri Ramakrishna asked, who are you, pray? Who are you? So when you try to understand who am I, then you'll rest only in that Brahman, unattached being. But when you are attached with the things of the world, then you are a jiva. So anyway, so right from the beginning of Ikshana means 13. From the determination of Ishvara. So Ikshana means determination, conception. So identification. See, planning. When we want to create something, we start our resolve, planning. So then comes from the determination of Ishvara to create down to his entrance into the created objects is the creation of Ishvara. From the waking state to ultimate release, the cause of all pleasures and pains is the creation of Jiva. So, as of now, say we feel we are Jiva. As of now, we see this, oh, this world is miserable world. And when we are released from this, so this is the sphere where Jiva works. Okay, we go forward. Now, question comes, when Brahman is Paramarthik Sat, we have four kinds of satta. One is Alika Satta, that means it has only notional existence. Then we have Pratibhasika Satta, as we have in our dream state. What is notional? Let me say, when we say, oh, I saw a rabbit, it has Shashavishan or Bandhyaputra, son of a barren woman. So barren women cannot have son. So, but it gives a notion that, oh, there is a person, but actually there is none. Then come Pratibhasika. We see, but it is only in dream. Pratibhasika, it is projected. Then comes Vyavaharika, as of now. Say, David, you are there. So Vyavaharika means what we practice, like transactional or in practical existence. And Paramarthik means that never cease to, that which exists all the time, never obliterated, never absent. So this is Paramarthik Satta. If that is there, then how come Jiva and Ishvara are fought or thought in different ways? What is the reason why they object, or the various philosophers, they differ? What is the reason? So here comes the answer. 214. Those who do not know the nature of Brahman, who is secondless and associationless, fruitlessly quarrel over Jiva and Ishvara, which are creations of Maya. Jiva and Ishvara both are creation of Maya. When we have knowledge of duality, then we feel I am a Jiva and there must be some creator who is a Ishvara. So this comes in Maya. But when Maya ceases to exist, what happens? There is no two. There is no dispute. But those who do not know this fact, they quarrel out of ignorance. We go to the next. We always approve those who appear to us to be devoted to truth and pity others, but do not quarrel with those who are deluded. So those who know about it, they don't object. Like children, they are quarreling. Elders, they don't mind. Okay, let them quarrel. Similarly, those who are evolved, they don't mind if someone is quarreling over the things. No, this is the way, or this is what Jiva, this is what is Ishvara. It's okay, fine, go ahead. What is the harm? So those who are established in truth, They don't mind if people are quarreling for trifle. We always approve those who appear to us to be devoted to truth, and pity others, but do not quarrel with those who are deluded. Okay, we go to the next. From the worshippers of objects like grass to the followers of yoga, all have wrong ideas about Ishvara. From the materialist Charvakas to the followers of Sankhya, all have confused ideas about Jiva. Okay, what is the Sri Ramakrishna's saying? Sri Ramakrishna says everybody thinks that his watch gives correct timing, but no watch is correct. You see, if one says this is the truth and others all are false, now here we have logic, but this logic also not out of say fallacy. So logic relentless, but here this is the Advaitic standpoint. Another thing Sri Ramakrishna said, if someone is wrong, then God will show the right way. What is the right way? Only one should be sincere. And Dvaita, Advaitin, whosoever, from our standpoint, if someone is sincere, then the Supreme Being will reveal to him what is right, what is not right. But here, this is the standpoint that we have to understand this. What is that? Those who are worshippers of even grass and other things like trees or stone, actually everybody is worshipping God. And ultimately, everyone is worshipping the self. Those who go to the temple, what they do? They offer pranam, but they close their eyes. All are trying to recognize and discover and recognize his true nature. Even Shankaracharya Bhagavan said that what is bhakti? Atma Tattvānusandhānam bhakti ritya vidhiyate. Even devotion also, it is to try to discover, try to find out what is my real self. Though they do it unknowingly, and the Advaitin will do it knowingly. How we understand? Because all those who go to temples, they go and offer pranams. Eyes are closed. They try to discover their own real self. So, from the worshippers of objects like grass to the followers of yoga, all have wrong ideas about Ishvara. From the materialist Charvaka to the followers of Sankhya, all have confused ideas about Jiva. And Swamiji even said, if a person, a thief, trying to steal, it is out of love for his own relative. Ultimately, it is own self. So, if we see this love is the prime mover and love for self, survival of the self. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati. Navare pattu kamaya patim priyam bhavati. It is not that out of love for the husband that a wife loves her husband, and not that a husband loves his wife out of love for wife. It is the love for self that all love others. Atmanastu kamaya. For the love of one's own self, everyone loves others. And that is why when that love for self is obstructed, then they get divorced. Atmanastu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavatu. So whatever we see, wherever we see there is conflict, that means it is no more serving the self-love. So self-love is the prime motivator. Okay, we go forward. Advitiya Brahma Tattvam na jananti yada tada prantya eva akhilastesham kwa muktihi keha va sukham. As they do not know the truth of the secondless Brahman, they all are wrong. Where is their liberation or where is their joy in this world? See, until or unless we know ourselves, how can we enjoy? And what is to be enjoyed? Suppose we enjoy in our dream, but that enjoyment is not permanent. So to enjoy anything, we must know ourselves. That is why even when you eat for yourself, suppose you are talking and eating, experience this. You cannot enjoy. But if you are offering that to God, you can enjoy immensely. Or when you are standing self alone, as self alone, and all these are like object of perception, then you can enjoy in a better way. So even enjoyment also based on the self-knowledge. When you are aware that I am the self, I am the supreme self, Paramatman, and in front of me everything is happening, you can enjoy in a better way. Though it is involvement is there, and when you are totally detached, the supreme joy comes then, the bliss comes. See, Sri Ramakrishna, he's talking to devotees, he's enjoying being as the supreme being, he's enjoying, but sometimes he also withdraws himself. He enjoys at most. So, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Bahya Dasha, Ardha Bahya Dasha, and Antar Dasha. That means Antar Dasha means totally absorbed in oneself. So that is supreme bliss. There is no adulteration at all. But when it is halfway, so he is standing at the threshold. So he can go out and come in. And sometimes he's involved with devotees. But that time also his identification with the self remains. Then only he can enjoy. But since Jiva loses this identification, they suffer. The Jiva suffer. So this, when one knows one's own self, only then even bliss is possible. From the worshippers, From the worshippers of objects like grass to the followers of yoga, all have wrong ideas about Ishvara. From the materialist Charvaka to the followers of Sankhya, all have confused ideas about Jiva. As they do not know the truth of the secondless Brahman, they all are wrong. Where is their liberation or where is their joy in this world? We go to the next. Some may say that these people represent grades of enjoyment from the lowest to the highest. But of what use is it? A man, when awake, derives no good from the dreams in which he may have played the part of a king or a beggar. Example. Even a person who plays in a play, maybe he is a king or a beggar, he knows that it's only a play. So that joy we don't count. We have to count that one which is supreme joy, bliss. Okay, we go forward. Tasman mumukshur bhir naiva matir jivesha vadayoho karya kintu brahma tattvam vicharyam buddhitam chatat. Therefore, the aspirants to liberation again, not to take from any other point, it's freedom. We are bound now, we must be free. As Swamiji said, this is the whole of religion. Each soul is potentially divine. To manifest this divinity is the goal of life by controlling nature, internal and external, be it by work or worship, psychic control or knowledge, by one or many, and be free. This is the whole of religion. So freedom is the goal. So liberation means not, like prajjita kaitava. That means Vaishnavas hate liberation. So liberation something is like abuse. It's not like that. It's freedom. Even if you are slave of somebody, say maybe even God's slave, Ishvara's slave, not God, Ishvara's slave, you are still a slave. You are bound by a golden chain. You may not bound by chain of iron, but you are bound by chain of gold. Freedom is the goal of life. So liberation here means freedom. Vaishnavas, they never subscribe to that. They will say, we don't want to become sugar. We want to enjoy sugar. Yeah. Whenever there is enjoyment, there is misery also. The Vedantic view is it's freedom. Freedom is the goal of life. Okay, so we go forward. So what is that? Therefore, the aspirants to liberation, aspirants for freedom, should never engage themselves in disputations about the nature of Jiva and Ishvara. What is the nature of Jiva? What is the nature of Ishvara? Our goal is to have freedom. They ought to practice discrimination and realize the reality of Brahman. So what is my real nature? If I can know that, then there is no quarreling with anyone. Anybody, you see like this, as Sri Ramakrishna said, we are admitted in hospital. And doctor will not release you until or unless you are cured. We are in the hospital of this Ishvara. So to get freedom, to get freedom means then we should be well, healthy. Similarly, suppose you are in school and you need to pass your examinations. But when you have graduated, then you are free to go. Until or unless you are graduated, sorry. Until or unless you are graduated, the academic institutions will not give you certificate to go. You can drop out, that's a different story. Okay, we go to the next. पूर्व पक्षतया तो चेत तत्व निश्चय हेतुताम प्राप्नुतो अस्तु निमज्जस्व तयोर नैतावता वशः. Now doubt comes. Such disputation is a means to the understanding of Brahman. So Purva Paksha reply, it may be so, but be careful to avoid being drowned helplessly in the sea of confusion. Any disputation comes, then that means you are admitting this duality. And that's wastage of time. I know that there is a Yoga Sutra, there are 4 situations and 4 solutions. What are those? Maitri, Karuna, Mudita, Upeksha, Nam, Sukha, Dukkha, Punya, Punya, Bhavanata, Chitta Prasadanam. So, Upeksha is one. Maitri, if someone is doing good, helpful, is trying to achieve his goal of life, be friendly to him, feel friendly. Maitri. But if he is doing something wrong or he's suffering, have compassion. Compassion means have the sense of self-feeling. Okay, karuna. It's not out of pity, not out of looking down upon him, but it is to avoid. So karuna, here compassion means to have empathy, sympathy. Maitri karuna. Mudita, if someone is doing good, progressing in his own way, very good, be glad. And something he's thinking or doing something which is not good, then it is better to avoid. Upeksha. So Maitri Karuna Mudita Upekshanam Sukha Dukkha Punya Punya Bhavanataha Chitta Prasadanam. Why it is to be done so? Because not to engage yourself in unnecessary things, entangling yourself, spending your time and energy. It's better. Okay, so this is such, the doubt comes, such disputation is a means to the understanding of Brahman. Reply, no. It may be so, but be careful to avoid being drowned helplessly in the sea of confusion. We go to the next. Doubt again. All right. But the Vedantins must accept the Sankhya doctrine that Jiva and Ishvara are associationless, pure consciousness, and eternal, and the Yoga doctrine that Jiva and Ishvara referred to as thou and that, respectively. In the dictum, thou art that, are of a pure nature. So that's the pure nature. So Jiva is unattached and God is also unattached. And it is Vibhu, all pervading. And it is consciousness, conscious being. And similarly, yoga also says so. Now, what is the reply? Let us go directly there. These two meanings do not accord with the Advaita view. They postulate a difference between Jiva and Ishvara. But in the Advaita doctrine, there is no distinction between that and thou. Tat tvam asi, thou art that. That means what? It is equating. E is equal to mc square. Means what? When it is equal to, that means it is equal. It's not dissimilar. It is one expressed in different ways. So from Advaitic standpoint, this self, the individual self, is no other than Supreme Self. Jiva Brahmaiva napara. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Brahman alone is real. And whatever is seen, it is seeming, it is temporary, it is not permanent. Therefore, it is seeming. Therefore, it is not real. And then what is real? The real is the same self. Same self, when identifies with Creator, then he is Ishvara. When identifies with Jiva, then he is Jiva. So it is like that story. So one day Raja Janaka, after the day's work, went to home and resting. All of a sudden, a minister came and said, "Sir, we have been attacked and we have to get ready for fight." And then they organized army and they fought, but they were defeated. Janaka was defeated. And then the conqueror came and abandoned Janaka. And he was tired and thirsty and hungry because of the battle. And then he begged food, but everybody denied. Everybody said that no, the vanquished or that conqueror will punish us. Though you are very kind, you helped us a lot, but we are out of fear, we cannot help you. And so he went from door to door and then he saw from distance, oh, there is a queue, big queue. And food was being distributed. So he joined that queue and standing at the end. And when he reached near the food was exhausted. The person who was distributing, he said, okay, please, I know you are very kind, I understand. So let me collect all the remaining. So he collected a little and he gave in a bowl. Then King Janaka was going to eat it. At the same time, a crow came and tried to snatch and it fell down. Then Janaka cried out. So when he cried out, then his bodyguard said, "Sir, what happened? Why are you carrying? Huh? Then he said, is this true or that was true? So the guard could not understand. Then he informed the minister. So minister came and said, sir, what happened to you? Then Janaka said, is this true or that was true? And then the word went to the queen. Queen came and said, what happened? Why are you saying this? Oh, is this true or that was true? Say, and then this word went to the city, and everybody was saying that Janaka gone mad, and he's always saying, is this true or that was true? By the luck, that time, the Ashtavakra Muni was in the city, and he heard this also. So he said, okay, I understand what happened. So he went to the king and said, what happened? So Janaka said, is this true or that was true? So Ashtavakra said, neither this is true, nor that was true. Because, that time what happened? King was in a dream, but dream was so vivid that he was thinking that was real. And then when he was awake, he thought, is it real? Say this is real? Or my dream world was real? That was his question. So Ashtavakra said, neither this is real, nor that was real. Neither your dream was real, nor this waking state is real. Then he said, what is real then? You are the only reality. You are real. That means drishya and drashta. Drashta alone is real. All other are not real. It is only projected. It comes and goes away. We went to a place, say Burnville, and then a beautiful scenery. But now it is no more. So what is real? Is that real or this is real? Neither that is real nor this is real. Only the reality is this self. Self alone is real. All other things are coming and going. So here, the reply, these two meanings do not accord with the Advaita view. That means Jiva, Ishvara, creation, etc., etc., etc. And it is, Jiva and Ishvara, these are different beings. And Sankhya will say that the Prakriti is one and Jivas are many. Why? See, you are different, I am different, you are different, all are different. So Sankhya will say these are different. Similarly, yoga also. But Advaita says they are not different. It is all one, appearing as many. Let us read it again. All right, but the 221. All right, but the Vedantis must accept the Sankhya doctrine that Jiva and Ishvara are associationless, pure consciousness and eternal, and the Yoga doctrine that Jiva and Ishvara referred to as thou and that. So that means separation is there. Separation. But in Advaita, there is no separation. These two, meaning Jiva and Ishvara, do not accord with the Advaita view. They postulate a difference between Jiva and Ishvara. But in the Advaita doctrine, there is no distinction between that and thou. Statements. Statements appearing to make such a distinction are only steps towards understanding of non-duality. Na tattva, na tattvam मोरु भावार्थो अस्मत् सिद्धांतताम गतौ अद्वैत बोधनायैव सा कक्षा काचिद इष्यते. So tat padartha and tam padartha, it's not different. From Advaitic standpoint, it is the same. Only unity is existing. The difference is only projected. It is not Parinamvad, it is Vivartavad. It appears like different. The difference is only appearance, not in reality. So this is the Advaitic standpoint. Akshay, any question?
Yes,
Go ahead.
like then, like devotees of God, like the large, like then they were not free.
Okay, so devotee, that's a like bhakti way of. So devotees don't want to even freedom. They want to have Nitya Das. That's why, like Vaishnavas, they'll all add Das. Dasa means slave. All that, this Dasa, that's that Dasa. So they don't want to have freedom. What is their point of moksha? Not moksha, actually, mukti. What is that? Sayujya, Sarupya, Shashti, all these 5 kinds of, in the same, as the form will be the same. That means they are remembering all the time. Sarupya, Shashti, and this Salokya, Sarupya. Salokya means in the same loka. Salokya, Sarupya, Shashti. And it's 5 kinds. So 5 kinds of mukti. It's not, still they want reality. So the best way we can understand from Sri Ramakrishna's standpoint, that there is immense expanse of water. A devotee wants to enjoy. So what he does, he puts his finger and makes a distinction. This is me and that is you. But in reality, it is one, all one. And in extreme situation, we find Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He is merged in God. Sometimes he'd come out. Sri Ramakrishna also similar. Many times he's merged in the self. So there is no distinction then. So ultimately that same thing happens, only they want to enjoy. And they look down upon those who talk about freedom. So we admit both. Either way, as Sri Ramakrishna said, if there is a cake, whether you eat straight or reversing, the taste will be the same. So only this fighting is external. For us, both are fine. No problem. Yes.
Eating cake and reversing are the same, and I don't understand what you mean.
Okay. Sri Ramakrishna's statement. That Mishti ar kore khao, soja kore khao. That means that roti, say suppose roti or cake. So if you eat straight, that means you are taking I am Brahman. There is no two. Or you are just keeping a little of identification. This is me, that is you. like water, a huge expanse of water. A devotee wants to enjoy. See, only merging, it's no joy. You be, like I am being. So in your dreamless state, you are in your being. So there is no enjoyment. You enjoy, of course you enjoy. But there is no creation, like Mother Yashoda. So people came and said, Krishna is like king now in Mathura. And he has turban and this, that. Oh, beautiful. He looks like that. Mother Ashoda says, I don't want to listen all those things. My baby Krishna, how is he keeping? Tell me that. I want to serve him. I want to, the motherly love. So this is, Vaishnava standpoint. But from our standpoint, both are the same. So eating cake straight or like, okay, you lie down and eat, taste will be the same. And this disputation is only notional. But people like to fight.
After telling us not to do it.
No, but this is good. Why? Because this is being cultivated. This is to hone our intellect. And what happens really in that state of devotion, that also we can understand through this. So it is not, we don't discard neither this nor that. We enjoy both. And that should be the case. That is called samanvaya, harmony. And Sri Ramakrishna is incarnation of harmony. He harmonized all. No disputation. For us, there is no disputation at all. Jnana, very good. Sometimes you merge in yourself. You cannot deny it. And sometimes you also want to enjoy. Fine. There is only a fine line. In a big expanse of water. This is me, that is you. So I put a line. But actually it's only notional. There is nothing in reality. So from Ramakrishna's standpoint, both are fine.
Swami,
Yes.
could that also be said in the Panhadashi, or I can't remember which verse, but 1 or 2 or 3 verses earlier, they were criticizing Sankhya, but don't the
Sankhya, the Sankhya means they have a different idea that Prakriti is one. Say you are in Prakriti, I am also in Prakriti. Prakriti is one, connecting us. And Jiva are many. And Ishvara is what? Prakriti Lina Purusha. Purusha Vishesha. So a kind of Jiva, but highly evolved. So Vedanta standpoint is, relentless, uncompromising. There are no two at all. Jiva Brahmaiva Napara. Jiva alone is Brahman. There is no distinction at all. See, you should be strong enough to even proclaim this. All the time you are a slave to someone. No. You should be independent, a free state.
don't they accept that?
Eh?
Don't the Vedantins, doesn't Sri Ramakrishna or Vivekananda accept that Kapila was an illumined soul? So they differ in
All are
philosophy.
illumined. We have no disputation. All illumined. All illumined. You are also illumined. Each soul is illumined. Each soul is potentially divine. Understanding may be different. And we are not blaming any person. Various isms are being discarded or illumined. You are also illumined. You have any doubt?
I'm trying to realize that, Swami.
No. It's see, only you have to manifest. Even when you don't know, you are that. Okay, I can prove it. Okay. You are David, right? David?
According to you, Swami, I'm not David. I am that.
So you have come to a conclusion. So there is no disputation. You are not David. Why? The name David was given after your birth. Okay, which one is David? This form or child form? Neither. Essentially, okay, you are not body. Essentially, you are not body, right? See, this body idea is in our mind. Any doubt? You
That's
are
correct.
not body, not nothing. You are in the idea of David, idea of your body is in your mind. Any doubt?
No, Swami.
Okay. Actually, you have no mind also. Mind is only floating on you. Any doubt? Your mind is floating on yourself.
That one's a bit harder.
Harder, but do you admit or not?
In theory,
No. You have to say yes or no. Okay, it is like this. This mind that you are a David, does it remain when you are in deep sleep?
no.
Then who are you? That means your consciousness. You are conscious being all the time. Idea of David in your mind is floating and coming and going in yourself. You are the self all the time. Any doubt?
That's true. What you're saying.
That is it's proven. So you're not David. You're not David. You're not your mind David. You're not intellect David. You are the self all the time.
But if
Though
you
don't
say,
believe,
but if you, oh,
don't you believe? That is called bipratipatti. Somehow we falter. But even if we falter, but we are the self all the time. Iti siddham. So that is, it is proven. Okay.
but I need to still answer, Swami. If you say David,
Answer, you are seeking answers. Answer you know already.
I mean, if you call my name, I have to say yes, Swami.
So that means you identify with your name, but identification with anything, you identify with your body, but body is changing all the time. Identification is what? Say you live in a house. Now that's your address. You identify with it, but you are not your address. Any doubt?
Ask
That's
him if
correct.
it's Social security number.
Eh?
Ask him if it's his social security number.
Yeah, social security number.
It's his social security number.
Your passport. You say, you know, Swami, this is me. You show your picture. Your picture only. I'm talking about you. Anyway, so think about it. It's difficult, I know. That is why abhavana, we don't think about it. We don't have time. We are so engaged in this world that we don't have time. Abhavana. Then when we think opposite. That means abhavana, viparit bhavana. We think that we are body, mind. So all the time we think reverse. And by the grace of God, if we can come out of it, then comes asambhavana. Though Swami is saying, though the scripture is saying, but it's not possible. How it is possible that I am the self all the time? It's impossible. And by the grace of God, when we come out of it, that time also, somehow we miss Vipratipatti. So Abhavana, Viparit Bhavana, Asambhavana, and Vipratipatti. And this all happens because of the power of Maya, covering our real self and projecting something which we are not. David.
What does abhavana mean? Just the Sanskrit word? I don't know. That word.
Abhavana means not think, not to think. We don't think. We don't think. Say you have so many things to do. And then now social media, so many things to watch. Where is the time? We don't think about it. Abhavana. Then when we think we are this body. See, I'm eating, I'm exercising, I'm taking medicine. So that means I'm body. At the most, yes, I'm mind. But we don't go beyond. So Viparit Bhavana means opposing thought. Then when it comes, say like we are studying, but still you will have some doubt. Asambhavana, impossible, Though it is saying so, but it's impossible. And suppose you come out of it also, then comes Vipratipatti. That means somehow, even then we are not convinced. So this is because of ignorance, ajnana. Okay. Jai Ma. Akshay, okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Pranam Maharaj.
Namaskar.
Durga.
Durga. Mark, namaste. James Elizabeth, okay. Yeah, see, like many people don't join because of it's so. Okay, somebody has sent a heart. Oh, okay, thank you. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tatsat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. Thank you.
Pranam Maharaj.
Namaste. Hari Om.
Pranams Maharaj.
Namaste.